Hi dear friends, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. It's Akshadare by Devraj. I hope you guys are working towards to improve our communication in English, and also you guys are following the tips which I have given in the previous videos. So let me start today newspaper. Yes, before going to start the newspaper reading, I would request you guys to please subscribe the channel, like and comment for more videos related to education, healthcare, and personal interviews. Let's start today's newspaper reading. Yes, let's see what's in the front page of the Hindu newspaper. Himanta meets cookie groups in SOO. Fact at zero O fact. Gujarat braces up PM reviews measures. Former Italian FPM Berlusconi no more. The shrinking space for dissent. The lack of interest in this stir must be seen in the broader context. China not to renew visas of last two Indians. Gratuity applicable to new houses, new tenants. COVID vaccination rate out. Government denies breach. 50 years are old. Shakti 5.7 lakh women travelled for free in Karnataka buses on day first. Auto passengers stabbed to death over fare row. While BMTC buses are crowded, there are few takers for the premium ones. Photocopies of ID cards to be accepted. Couple found ad in bathroom. Geyser gas leak suspected. 30-year-old hotel employee and his 22-year-old fiancée were found dead in the bathroom of a rented accommodation in Chikajala. They are suspected to have died of a Geyser leak. Tall Icon Expressway catches people by surprise. Step up 250 Indira Canteen in City with each ward getting one. Sidramaya. BBMP Restructuring Committee reconvened to reimagine city's governance and administration. Bangalore University gets NACA plus grade. State must utilize its strengths in innovation and entrepreneurship. CM orders probe into cases of death health issues owing to water contamination. HC gives temporary leave to Yukuma in disproportionate assets case. Karnataka sees 60 to 7% rainfall deficiency from June 1st to June 10th. A Deputy Conservator of Forest suspended. The Deputy Conservator of Forest Assam Division A.K. Harish has been suspended for allegedly giving no objection certificate to start a quarry in an area that had been declared as deemed forest at Dadigata village in Chandrapatna Taluka, Pasu district. The suspension order said that to 50.3 hectares in survey number 254 had been declared as deemed forest in 2014. The officer gave the NOC in March 31, 2023 to begin acquiring 21 acres of land, thus violating the Forest Conservation Act 1980 and the Supreme Court order. Threat to safety of civil societies can't be ignored in deciding bail plea of accused in terrorism act cases. School girl falls off bus in Away district. Prasanna seeks autonomous status for Bangalore Center of NST. Differences in Congress will be resolved through talks. Tariq. Center developing to 75 points on each district. Muralidharan. Monsoon case. Police arraigns KPCC chief as second accused. Restless protest and the shrinking space for dissent. Let's read the newspaper editorial page, guys. Yes, restless protest under the shrinking space for dissent. Public protests have long served as a catalyst for social and policy change in India, allowing individuals, classes, and communities to voice their grievances and advocate for their rights. Over the past few years, protests have risen with a bewildering rapidity. Protests had opened up space for a new era of social activism in the decade that the Congress-led United Progress Alliance government was in power. The Bharatiya Janata Party-led National Democratic Alliance government too has faced considerable opposition from a range of groups but has treated it very differently from previous governments, from Nirbhaya to the present. In December 2012, people around the world watched as thousands took to the streets in the central vista of New Delhi following the brutal gang rape of a 23-year-old physiotherapy student Nirbhaya. The protest became so intense and the public outrage was so great that the UPA government was compelled to address issues of sexual violence at the policy level through the introduction of the new Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013 to bring stricter punishments and broaden the scope of offences. Fast forward to May 2023, medal winning wrestlers who have brought honor to the country have been on the streets for nearly 4 months to demand the arrest for the Wrestling Federation of India chief and the Kaisarganj member of parliament Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh of the BJP, who they have accused of sexually harassing women wrestlers and a minor. But the authorities didn't respond for weeks. It took the Supreme Court of India's intervention for Delhi police to file first information report. The wrestlers have held negotiations with the Home Minister and for Sports Minister, but no agreement was reached on the key demand of arresting him. That the ruling party MP faces no political issue censor in the face of serious allegations recorded in the FIR clearly indicates that the institutional system has failed these remarkably brave wrestlers fighting for justice in the face of tremendous state pressure. But what about the civil society and the public at large? The protest has found some support from civil society, especially organizations representing workers, farmers, women, students, and youth, but it is very small when compared to the public support for other protests under this regime or previous ones. There have been no rallies, no demonstrations, or marches that defined protest against sexual violence in the UPA era. People have not been stirred by the image of wrestlers being dragged by the police. Despite the potential for mass mobilization, these protests have failed to garner significant support from the middle classes and women's groups, which were in the forefront of the Nirbhaya protests in 2012. Protests under the current regime are no doubt difficult as they are immediately branded as anti-national. Also, activists might feel the futility of protest against a government that doesn't listen. But the fact is that this regime has been forced to respond to some protests even if it has done so for reasons of political expediency. The withdrawal of the controversial farm laws and the backtracking over the contentious National Register of Citizens and the Citizenship Amendment Act are two recent examples where the government had to back down. The context of politics. The Indian women movement has had a long history of organizing around sexual violence against women. They have in the past organized action on the streets, but this time, except for left groups and the All India Democratic Women's Associations, women's groups have been largely missing in action. Even though it is an issue of gender justice, but it is not just about gender justice, it is about the wider issues of dissent, dignity, and social justice. Moreover, in the Nirbhaya case, it was not only women who are mobilizing, but also a broader swath of social society that included men. The massive public mobilization had brutally and had virtually blocked the India Gate area for weeks, but this time nothing of the kind has happened. Wrestling is deeply ingrained in Indian culture and has a long history, particularly in the rural areas. However, traditional wrestling has not received the same level of attention and support as other sport in India, such as cricket. The protesting wrestlers mostly come from modest economic backgrounds. Sports has helped them to achieve a measure of social and economic mobility. The lack of interest in this agitation must be seen in the broader context of class politics. The active participation of the middle classes in the Anna Hazare Andolan and Nirbhaya protests presents a contrasting picture that highlights the importance given to social activism by this class. Their participation in the two movements catapulted them to the central stage of the political discourse. The anti corruption campaign was not averse to Hindutva politics. In fact, adopting its symbols and slogans added to its widening support. The urban middle class is also very well disposed to neoliberalism. It has benefited from the opportunities available to it. From the neoliberal economy in the past 3 decades, indeed, middle class expansion has occurred since economic reforms through the private sector boom powered by economic liberalization. This is the class that was enamored by India's shining and then shifted support to the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh before turning against him. As the UPA went on to introduce and then shifted support to the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh before turning against him. As the UPA went on to introduce rights-based legislations and other broad-based social policies, their shifting political loyalties, however, reflect an ideological consistency that characterizes the middle class in its combined devotion into neoliberalism and Hindutva. The middle class opposition to the UPA played a crucial role in discrediting it. Now, these very classes strongly back the current dispensation and see no reason to go against it, even on issues of sexual violence. A form of polarization. The support extended by COP panchayats underlines the complexities and challenges facing their protest. Their support highlights the social identity of the wrestlers, but the identity issue could have been superseded had the wrestlers received greater support from civil society. Even so, this is not about caste politics but majoritarian politics that has encouraged a ready acceptance of law will take its own course. Rhetoric, even when it is abundantly clear that the law doesn't take its own course when dealing with the powerful, unless they cannot and will not interfere with the due process. Nonetheless, this rhetorical device facilitates an approval of the government's narrative, including policy mistreatment of grapplers. This is yet another indication of polarization being reinforced by majoritarian politics in the country today. Middle class activism tends to prioritize the issues and concerns that directly impact them, often overlooking the needs and struggles of the disadvantaged classes and communities. This self-focus can perpetuate inequalities and hinders efforts to address broader social issues, failing to consider the intersections of class, caste, gender, and other factors can result in a narrow understanding of social reality and marginalized voices. In the event, there is a sense of suspicion towards mass politics and egalitarian ideas and movements. This tendency contributes to an unprecedented squeeze seen among the middle classes and even among the oppressed classes. Above all, it means inadequate pressure is exerted on the government to penalize an infamous history cheater. It is emblematic of society's normalization of patriarchy and sexual harassment. This is about the wrestlers who is protesting in the India in New Delhi from the last 4 months over the sexual harassment. The second best India's after a hectic IPL seemed unprepared for the WTC final. Education platform, e-education platforms, so their generative AI chapter. Let me read this. Salman Khan flourished even at the peak of the world economic crisis of 2008. The Khan's Academy's online education videos attracted thousands of learners that year. It has gone from strength to strength since then. Khan's not-for-profit enterprise is funded by the likes of the Gates Foundation, Google, and Elon Musk. Today, the Academy has 130 million learners from across the world, ranging from schoolgoers to graduate level learners, such as the enduring popularity of online education. Scaling up as the world recovered from its economic setback by 2011, a new genre of online courses titled Massive Open Online Courses made their entire driven by reputed institutions of learning through learning through MOOC have been around since 2008. Their institutional origins can be traced to three free online courses offered by Stanford University in 2011. Peter Norvig, Sebastian Thrun, Jennifer Widom, and Andrew Ng conducted these courses, buoyed by the large turnout of learners for these pilot courses. Thrun launched its online education outfit Udacity in late 2011 as a for-profit company. A year later, Andrew Ng and Dopin followed suit with their venture Coursera, which was also registered as a for-profit company. Not to be left behind, MIT and Harvard joined forces to create edX in May 2012 as a non-profit MOOCs company. Anant Agarwal, the visionary founder of edX, is widely credited with open sourcing and internationalizing the company's open edX tech stack. Although edX was acquired by the for-profit edX company 2U in November 2021, the company continues to follow non-profit considerations when it comes to servicing its open source stack. All the three outfits succeeded in launching MOOCs on a global scale in partnership with the world's leading universities and institutions. As far as India is concerned, the Indian Institute of Technology Bombay and Indian Institute of Management Bangalore have been the early movers. Both institutions offer a variety of MOOCs courses through the edX platform. As of 2021, there existed nearly 35 MOOCs learning management systems spread across North America, Asia, and Europe. The list of large LMS platforms from the developing world includes India's studied webs of Arctic Active Learning for Young Aspiring Minds, launched in 2017 by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. It is one of the world's largest learning portals according to Class Central. The number of MOOCs learning in the world was 220 million in 2021. Coursera accounted for 97 million learners, while edX and India's SWAM had enrollment of 42 million and 22 million, respectively. Why generative AI? Despite the seemingly high enrollment numbers, the financials of MOOCs platforms are fragile. The operating expenses of a MOOCS platform are high, partly due to maintenance expenses associated with the LMS tech stack, and partly due to steep marketing costs incurred for enlarging the learner base. On the revenue side, the practice of offering entry level courses gratis or at low fees aggravated the financial crunch faced by these platforms. Although MOOCs platforms by and large rely on degree earning courses to earn revenue, such courses have few takers. A key metric that determines learner enrollments for MOOCs is the probability of potential learners discovering LMS platforms through web-based search engines. Even when a learner stumbles on a platform of her choice, she would still struggle to locate courses that suit her needs from the crowded portfolio of Coursera, edX, and Udacity. What compounds the problem is the high rate of dropouts by entry-level learners. In turn, dropouts reduce the engagement of learners for degree granting programs. These factors perhaps explain why Coursera, edX, and Khan Academy have gone in for a regenerative AI. edX ChatGPT plugin helps aspiring learners to successfully locate platforms and courses that suit their requirements. The Khan Academy's chat box Khanmigo challenges learners with thought-provoking questions, while edX Export and Coursera AI Coursera Coach function as virtual assistant that answer queries, provide feedback on assignments, generate quick summaries of voluminous content, and swiftly turn out exam scores. As learning gets interesting and engaging, dropouts are bound to come down, resulting in more learners progressing to degree granting programs. In India, India's SWAM has yet to spell out its approach to AI. However, the platform is in for interesting times. The SWAM user community will drastically scale up by 2025 when India's active internet users become 900 million strong. This rapid scale up will necessitate the utilization of AI based learning and teaching services by institutes affiliated to the platform. Unlike the United States and Europe based platforms, SWAM is publicly funded and is driven by the national education policy tenets of inclusivity and cross disciplinary learning. Indeed, in the coming years, the drift of SWAM courses is more likely in the direction of cross-disciplinary course offerings that utilize unstructured data. SWAM is thus ideally a position to derive benefits from the evolving semantic web. Time will tell whether regenerative AI tools will really shore up the economic fortunes of online education platforms. What is clear at the moment is that global online education brands will not shy away from experimenting with regenerative AI tools. This is about education platforms which like edX, SWAM, government and private education platforms. Let me go to the next page. Same-sex marriage, morality versus equality. NCTS play Carlisle's health. With French Open win, Joker holds all the cards now. Assam CM places center's peace plan before Kuki insurgent groups. Meeting held in Guwahati. Plan is to deploy central forces in zones between Kuki and Maiti settlements. Tribal man dies after being hit by bullet. Three injured in another clash. Two prominent personalities withdraw from a fees committee. COVID vaccination data out. Government at Dennis Beach. Manipur drug kingpins have ties with leaders. Education plus votes event on chances to study abroad. Parliament will see more MPs from vulnerable tribes. COVID geopolitical tensions affected development. Modi. China asks two Indian journalists to leave, alleges unfair treatment of its reporters. We hope that India will continue to issue visas for Chinese journalists, says Foreign Ministry. Violence intensifies during filing of papers for Bengal Panchayat votes. Clashes reported in several districts. State Election Commission has issued prohibitory orders outside BDO offices where nominations are filled. But preventive steps do little to abate violence. HC pleas on several issues concerning the fools. 9 years under Modi had era of cultural rejuvenation. BJP. While Nitish headlines opposition meet Lalu Tejasvi lay groundwork. Gujarat braces for cyclonic storm by Biparjoy. PM reviews preparations. Over 7,000 people from vulnerable areas have been shifted to temporary shelters. State and central authorities have deployed 21 teams of NDRF and 13 teams of SDRF in coastal districts. Railways to cancel many trains. Airfares down by 60%, likely to fall further, says India. 40,624 candidates qualify for civil services men. Attack on Indian mission. NIA seeks help from public. China could have as many ICBMs as US or Russia by turn of decade. Think tank. Proportion have helps migrant workers access Anganwadi services during telerelocation. Goda's gestures to Rama. Let me read this. Goda's gesture to Rama. What is about this? Lord Narayan took the form of a human being in Rama avatar only to establish that with whatever difficulties that may arise, the human being can overcome them and uphold the path of righteousness. He also asked the celestials coming to his aid to hide the celestial form. Garda was quoted at four places. One, while transcending down the Lord had entrusted his divine discard conch with Garda. 2. When Rama was asked to go to forest, he prostrated at the feet of his mother on departure. His mother told, I tell you the mantra that was told by Vinatha Devi, the mother of Garuda, to her son who started to fetch nectar, and the mantra is good character and rational thinking are the shield that will protect a person. Hanuman, while starting to Lanka, prayed Garuda and wished to go at the speed of Garuda. When Indrajit tied Rama and Lakshmana with Brahmastra, Garuda came over there like a golden mountain to remove the poison. There was an argument how could Garuda come as such. When Lord Narayana initially passed a stricture to celestials not to come in their original form, Garuda was asked to rush by Jatayu, the son of Garuda's brother Haruna. When Garuda hesitated, Jatayu told, if Rama developed a hungry tell that you are sent by me. When Rama was in human form, how could he give moksha to me? As a human being, he donned the role of Narayana, Lord Narayana, who also can give moksha, and how now it is not unfair for you to be in your celestial form. Garuda was half years whether Rama would censure him, but the Lord embraced him and extended his happiness, said Srimati Prabha Sanish in a discourse. Styles. UK PM asks Sunak hits back at Johnson over Hana's list. Pakistan begins importing a discounted Russian crude oil. Thailand PM frontrunner PT Limcha Ronat faces election probe. PKK supporter convicted of drug trafficking to be sent to Turkey. Washington Post publisher Fred Ryan leaves after 9 years at helm. Indirect talks with the US are on through Oman, says Iran. Trump travels to Florida ahead of appearing in federal court. US decides to return to UNESCO fold. Silvio Berlusconi, Canada's cat ex-Italian Prime Minister, dies at 86. April industrial output grows 4.2%, rises from 5-month low. Multi-pronged policy must for growth path. RBI permits banks to settle willful default products. TVS unit to invest 1 billion in warehouses. India UAE target 100 billion in non-oil trade by 2030. World Cup's new avatar set to attract eyeballs. We are discussing venues for 2025 WC. Test cricket will remain more my priority, says Stark. It's like trying to pick your favorite kid. Cummins on WTC win. Sakari beats Wang. Waki overcomes Buxwa's challenge. Honest self-assessment and a top calls the need of the hour. 10 venues in dropped schedule for ODIWC. Schedule for India's tour of W have announced. Chatri strikes seal India's berth in the summit clash. GOAT debate can avoid. Champions of each generation have left a huge legacy. Djokovic. Pranay to lead India's charge. National shotgun and selection trials in Bhopal from today. Makers challenge. Aditi ends tied 49th stays in LPGA rankings top 20. Murray climbs first Grand Score title in 7 years. Mathaps extends contact with MCFC until 2026. Its Mission Asian Cup for the Blue Tigers has coach Stamak prepares a blueprint for the road ahead. Rude says it's ridiculous that Djokovic is still not done with winning Grand Slam trophies. Djokovic returns to the top of the charts. Swiatek retains number one ranking. Did Homo naledi really make rock hard and bury their dead? Major new finding force us to rethink the role of brain science in advanced meaning making cognition. But is there actually evidence for pulmonary behavior at Rising Star K? According to standards set by the paleoanthropology community, the evidence presented so far indicates no. Older people exhale more aerosol particles, says study. How is the evolution of global communication technologies? Decongest roads or boost lucrative vehicle sales. Can the government strike a balance? A robust decongestion strategy for Bangalore would mean prioritizing multiple public transport modes through a focused investment, last mile connectivity, and a deliberate shift away from projects that aid growth of private vehicles. Will the government be willing to let go of a lucrative revenue yielding sector for greater public good? Celebrating the spirit of LGBTQ plus community, city needs 600 kilometers of stormwater infrastructure. A book for the smells that make a town. Hindu Santoni's book Vasani Smell in Kannada is an olfactory art project that attempts to chronicle the different smells of Bangalore, capturing the essence of North Karnataka through his stories, time after time, capturing the essence of North Karnataka through his stories. Will a hike in MSP help farmers? The third installment of tax devolution to states from the center, the funds under the PMJVK scheme lying unused with states. The fall in India's soybean output in 2023. The rise in industrial output in April 2023 as per MOSPI. The people who are more anticipating cyclone Biparjoy. Will a hike in MSP help farmers? What is the government claim on remunerative prices to growers? Will the increase in minimum support price encourage crop diversification? Why are farmers not satisfied and what do they proposal instead? Will Betelgeuse, the bright red giant star, blow up in your lifetime? What is this exactly? By examining Betelgeuse pulsation, researchers from Japan and in Switzerland recently reported that the star is in its late carbon burning stage. Other researchers have disputed this conclusion and estimated that the star will become a supernova only much later. This is about the science. With the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat slugging it out for the NBA title, the Nuggets led 3-1 as the Squidge Quant Press is a Squidge and NBA champions. Let's go to the. I'm going to hand this video, guys. Please, I hope you guys enjoy the reading and at least read the newspaper at least for 2 hours maximum. It will make you very communicative. It will make you very good in communication, especially in English. So I hope you guys are following the same tips and see you in the upcoming videos. Please subscribe the channel, like and comment for more videos related to healthcare education and personal use. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.